All right. Hello and welcome back to Tom Q's Tech Tips. Today we're talking about a microphone kit by Phenyx Pro. This is called the PTC-8. It's a conference microphone system. It's a podium style microphone with a gooseneck, and I find this kind of handy when you want to be able to have people be able to walk up to a place and talk without having to mic them up. This is a sponsored video, and I've actually been contemplating doing another conference. If you look at the catalog of our videos here on Tom Q's Tech Tips, you'll notice probably that over 50% of them have something to do with budget ways to record and stream conferences. I've been the volunteer tech guy for about 15 years for a group that does a conference most every year. We haven't done one for a couple of years, and we were actually contemplating doing a conference when Phenyx Pro reached out to me with this product. You know, before committing to it, I looked into it a little bit, and one of the things that was attractive to me was the fact that this kit is based on the UHF frequency. The other wireless microphones that I have are 2.4 gigahertz, and you can only have so many of those before they start interfering. And you know, when people come in with their iPhones and that are also operating on that frequency, it can get a little bit crowded. So anyway, that was attractive to me. And the other thing is fairly obvious in the name of the product, is the fact that it comes with 8 microphones. So you might ask, well, what in the world would you do with 8 microphones? And also, I just want to point out that this whole kit is less than $560. It's $559.99, and when I was browsing their website, there's actually a little thing that popped up that said save 10% on your first order. So this could be just over $500 for a kit for 8 microphones. And I'm going to show you how I envision using this. You know, we will have a speaker at the front, maybe even a table of speakers, but we want there to be participation, definitely in Q&A time, maybe even some interaction during the speaking this time, a little bit more interactive, almost like a Zoom meeting in person. And so I imagine having one of the microphones, one of the transmitters on each table, on 8 tables, and the participants being able to pass them between each person. So that's the way I envision this working. A couple other uses that I imagined that this kit could be used for would be like a school board or a small town with a limited budget on broadcasting town meeting sessions or school board sessions. Also, a friend of mine reached out to me recently he has a nonprofit for recovering from Hurricane Helene from about a year and a half ago, an ongoing project on replacing bridges and stuff that got washed out. And he wanted to be able to do a Zoom meeting where all of the people that were in the building could be heard when they're with other people that were in the Zoom sessions. So I think it could be useful for that. So anyway, that's the scenario that I plan to use it at, is in a conference. It comes with the 8 microphones, and as you can see here, this is the back of the receiver unit. It also comes with 4 antennas. So one antenna is responsible for two of the microphones. On the back of the receiver, you've got XLR connectors so that you can plug this into a mixer. The setup I currently have is the Zoom H6, which has 4 XLR connectors on the main unit, and I've got the little additional add-on module that gives you 2 additional ones. So I can do 8 microphones individually controlled from my little setup. So if I wanted to control all of these plus the microphones that the speaker has, I would probably need like 10 or 12 XLRs on the mixer. So that's something I'll have to think about. Just want to point out one thing here is that it has a nice little hook setup where you can keep the adapter from being pulled out. So that's cool. But then I'm currently using the mix out option that takes all 8 microphones, sends them out in one signal, and that shouldn't be a problem. You know, the participants are usually fairly respectful, so we should be able to keep them from doing that. And also, we'll talk about muting and unmuting the microphones here in a little bit. So anyway, on the front of the unit, oh, one more thing about the back. You'll notice that there is no USB, so it's not an audio interface, which is becoming fairly common with wireless microphone setups, as the receiver is often an audio interface. So this is not the case here. It's just a standard audio gear. So no USB also means no firmware updates will be happening, but it's just audio. It's just basically audio in and out. So so anyway, let's move on. Everything you get in the front of the receiver. So it's got a nice little panel on the front that lets you know a couple of things that are going on with each microphone. The button set to the left of each panel is for selecting which microphone you're tinkering with. So anyway, and then once you've selected your microphone, then there's a little set of buttons on the right of the panel that lets you control volume and channel. So we're going to zoom in on that and take a look at it after I talk about this guy right here. I actually panicked for a second when I opened these up. I was like, did I just get IR based microphones, which would be ridiculous. But no, that this IR section is only for synchronizing the channel of each bass with the receiver. So anyway, let's move on to one of the little panels here. And once you've got it successfully paired, then you will see a transmitter battery indicator, which is nice for the person like me who's actually controlling the unit. So each bass runs on 2 AA batteries, and Phenyx Pro says that those last 8 to 10 hours. So not only the person who has the microphone can see the battery level, but also the tech guy like me can see what the battery status is. And it's very easy to change the batteries. So anyway, once you've got them paired up, you get that. It's also going to show you which channel you're on. So when you're in the pairing process, you can select one of 25 channels per microphone to get the clearest signal. And then once you've got it set up, if you want, you can actually lock that in place. So by pressing and holding on the little up channel selector, you can lock that in place. You've got 18 different volume levels. By default, it's on volume 18, but it can go all the way down to 0. I've left mine at the default volume level, which is pretty high. So I've got it plugged into an ATEM video switcher right now, and so I've got the volume pulled pretty far down in the ATEM audio settings. Also, it gives you a little indicator of the audio frequency, what you're receiving. You have a little visual indicator of that, and also the radio strength. One last thing, there's a nice little hole there of buttons where I kind of wish maybe on the next generation they put a little mute button there so that me as the tech guy could actually mute this and be able to see whether it's muted or unmuted from here. Although, this brings us to this little detail here. Every microphone comes with one button, very simple, and it basically mutes and unmutes the microphone. But it also has up here on the base of the mic a visual indicator of whether it's muted or unmuted. So when it's unmuted, it's red, and when it's muted, it's red. When it's unmuted, it's green. So I should be able to, as the tech guy, be able to look at a table and tell whether their microphone is muted or unmuted. And so it just basically toggles off every time they press that button. So the person that has the mic can see if they're muted. And then also with the visual indicator, we can tell whether it is or not from a distance. So everything that comes in the box, pretty much covered. It comes with the 8 basses, the 8 microphones, the 4 antennas, the power adapter for the receiver, and the 2 batteries for each bass. So the first 8 to 10 hours is on Phenyx Pro. One little detail I want to mention, when I first agreed to this, I kind of thought, ooh, that would be kind of nice to be able to plug one of the podium mics straight into my Zoom H6, which has a 3-pin XLR. that's not going to work. This is a 4-pin connector, which in the manual it says it's a 4-pin XLR, but I did some searching on the internet, seeing if maybe I could get an adapter from 4-pin to 3-pin, and 4-pin XLR does not look like this. So I reached out to them and they confirmed to me that this is a 4-pin aviation connector, which has a nice little screw-in feature that keeps it nice and secure to the base. So anyway, that's what that is. Not a big deal, but it makes it break down nice and keeps it secure when you do connect it. And then finally, I am using this setup right here. It's the 1/4-inch connector that could plug this into my Zoom H6 straight into the XLR connectors on it. Also take 1/4-inch connector, but I currently have it plugged in with the included 1/4-inch to 1/8-inch adapter into my ATEM switcher, which takes 1/8-inch microphones. So that is what you get. Let's move on to this right here, and I'm going to switch over. And again, less than $560 for the whole kit. And I just want to, let's move over here a little bit. So this is where I've got it, is about 12 inches from my mouth. I'm about 2 feet away from it now, and you can hear what it sounds like there. Maybe I'll even move it a little further away. So it's probably 2 to 3 feet from me right now, and I'm turning away from it on this side. Maybe we'll pull it into view here a little bit more and do that also. So now it's back to about 12 inches away. So having it on the table here, even if I was the person next to the one sitting in front of the microphone, I think it would work pretty well. Anyway, and I think what I would also like to do is switch views here and just get further away from the receiver. So let's switch maybe. All right, so I've got a different camera setup here, and I'm going to, I've got a little picture-in-picture, and what I'm going to do is take this whole little contraption and walk around the house a little bit. So we'll stop, and I'm going to move this as far away as I can get it. In fact, maybe I'm even going to lower, just going to lower the volume on it, and let's start walking around. All right, so actually so I've got my receiver next to my computer over there. Here's the whole little kit, and I don't think you would need microphones this close together because of the way they pick up. In fact, if they in the manual, one of the troubleshooting things if you're not getting a good signal is that you would move the microphones farther away. So anyway, I'm backing up. Let's pull around here. I'm going to go as far away as I can get inside the house, which I'm basically using AirPlay to get from my iPhone here to my ATEM through an Apple TV. So I might lose a signal here as well. Let me let the cat in the house real quick here. There she goes. Okay, so let's take a little jaunt down the hall. And so not only am I about 40 feet away here, but I've also got walls in between. So this is probably going to, might even cut out on the video a little bit. So anyway, so this is the kit. And I think it's going to work really well for a conference. If you have any questions, you know where to put them. So anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you next time.